Hey guys, and welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to teach you one of my favorite techniques. It is called Mayan Abdominal Massage. And this is going to be for all of you with abdominal complaints, namely IBS, SIBO, and IBD. But honestly, even if you have something like endometriosis or something in the abdomen or pelvis, this could be really, really helpful for you. This is a very gentle technique. I want to say that right off the get-go. So this is perfectly safe to do and can be helpful and therapeutic for you if you're flared up. So if your SIBO or your IBD is currently flared and you're in a lot of pain, this is a very gentle technique and safe to do when you're flared up. It is also not going to be one of those techniques where there's no pain, no gain. I know anybody who's been in athletics or anybody who has been to a chiropractor or a physical therapist might be familiar with that type of massage technique. It is not one of those techniques. So I don't want you to be trying to grind the crap out of your intestines and really try to like make it hurt so good. This is not one of those techniques. We are talking like 3 out of 10 pressure. It's enough that you can perceive the sensation and you can feel it and you're moving things a little bit, but it's not like you're going to try to dig in so deep that you feel your spine. You can really be quite gentle with this and have it still be effective. I learned this technique from a patient a while back, and I've been teaching it to all of my IBS, SIBO, and IBD patients ever since, and it has been so helpful, just so helpful. And lastly, I would encourage you to do this technique. It's in its entirety. Go ahead and do each of the parts, even if part of it might seem silly, or even if it seems like it's not applicable to you. Go ahead and embrace the technique for what it is. Do it in its entirety. And then if there's a part that you feel is really beneficial for you or really resonates with you, go ahead and linger and do extra of that one part. But don't skip any of the parts. It really is a holistic type of thing where you want to do the entire thing, in my opinion. But without further ado, here's the Mayan abdominal massage technique. I hope this helps you on your healing journey. So first things first, just lay down, find somewhere comfortable, whether it's your bed or a yoga mat or a blanket on the floor. Just get comfortable and lay flat on your back. I'd like you to roll your shirt up or have on a sports bra or something that will not restrict your access to your abdomen, and then roll your pants down. Maybe a nice stretchy pair of yoga pants would be fitting for this. And that way you have access all the way from your hip pointer bones, which are on either side of your pelvis here, all the way up to the bottom part of your rib cage. And first, just center yourself and get a nice deep breath in or two, focusing on belly breathing first and foremost. And then the first portion of the actual abdominal massage is going to be fingers on top of fingers. You're going to overlap like this, and you're going to start down low, down by the very top of your pelvis. And you're going to sweep up all the way to your belly button. And you'll do this 3 times. Now you notice, for reference, my pressure is pretty light. I'm not really digging in and trying to mash everything into submission, and I'm not just tickling the surface either. If mashing all the way down and trying to find your spine is 10 out of 10 pressure, and just barely touching the top is 1 out of 10, I would say you want to be somewhere around like a 3 out of 10. It's pretty light, but it is something that you are able to feel beyond just the surface of your skin. So anyway, back to the actual technique. The first step is start down at the very base of your pelvis or the top of your pubic bone and sweep up with light to medium pressure all the way up to your belly button. And after you do that 3 times, you'll pick a side, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and come over to one of your hip pointer bones. Again, you'll go fingers on top of fingers, and you're going to sweep up in a J towards your belly button. So you're starting down low, scooping, and coming up to the top again. And we'll do this 3 times also. And then you'll do the other side. Same thing, 3 rounds, and you'll start over by your hip pointer bone and come over and sweep up to your belly button. And now you'll repeat this process, all 3, middle, right, and left. You'll repeat this process 3 times through in completion, and then we'll finish off with 1 additional midline sweeping. So go ahead and complete that now. finally, don't forget that last one in the midline. So you will have done 4 of these. Perfect. The next step is going to be another set of 3 or more if you feel so inclined, but I'll have you reach your hands all the way down. You can't see mine right now, but reach your arms all the way down so your elbows are straight and your hands are resting along the sides of your thighs. And then you're going to do, I call them light ticklies, but it's going to be this little pitter-pattering, very ticklish feeling that you start down at mid-thigh where your fingers are. You start the tickling, and then you just do the light ticklies all the way up to your rib cage. And then you do that again. And again. And that one seems like it's worthy of skipping, but I will encourage you to do that one because I have had patients, including the patient who taught this technique to me, say that that was one of the pieces of it that was really, really helpful for her. She would say when she was teaching me this that she could feel her stomach start to churn and gurgle and make nice happy noises when she did those light tickly feelings. So I really think it's more of a neurological reflex than anything else. Even though it seems kind of silly, I do encourage you to do the technique in its entirety. Next up, we're going to do something very similar to what we did before, whereas we started down low at the top of the pelvic bone. Now we're going to come up. You're going to find your rib cage. So here's one half of my rib cage goes all the way up here. The other half of my rib cage comes up to here. So you're going to find where the 2 halves meet. That's the xiphoid process. It's a little nub of a bone that's right up here, right in the midline along with your belly button. And you'll start there. And this time the grip can either be like I'm doing right now, where it's fingers alongside fingers, or you could do the same thing that we were doing before, but I find it a little bit more awkward because then you have to like have your arms up in this chicken wing kind of stance. So I kind of like to have my arms at my side and just do fingers that are parallel with each other. And you're going to do the same exact thing, but flipped upside down. So you're going to start up by the xiphoid process, that midline point, the highest point of your abdomen. And using about 3 out of 10 pressure, you're going to come sweep down to your belly button. And you'll do this 3 times. And then similarly, you'll do a bit of a J. So you'll come over to somewhere over by your rib cage and you'll sweep down like an upside down J for 3. Three on the other side. And then it's the same that we did before. We're going to do 3 of each of those. So midline, right and left. And then we'll come back to the center like I'm doing now for a final 4th round. So this one is special. You'll do an extra midline. Okay. The next one we're going to do is going to be starting up at that xiphoid process, the top where the 2 halves of the rib cage come together. And we're going to start up top and work our way down to the belly button. But this is going to be a zigzag and it's going to be variable pressure. So I want you to start nice and light, maybe like a 1 out of 10 pressure or a 2 out of 10. And then as you get closer to the belly button, you'll increase the pressure a bit. So you can see I'm kind of mushing things around pretty good. So you get down to the belly button and then you do it in reverse. You start off with more pressure and then lighten as you get up to that top of the rib cage, and then you're using very light pressure up at the top. And we'll do this 3 times, light pressure up top, increasing pressure as you move down, lightening the pressure as you go up. Next up, we're going to do little circles, almost like a flower pattern around your belly button. So go ahead and start. Little kneading circles, moving along with your colon. So for example, this is the right side of my body. We're moving from right to left and then back inferiorly again. So we're kind of tracing the direction of our colon, although we're nowhere near our colon right now. But little circles, almost like a flowery pattern, or almost like you're kneading bread. And you guessed it, we'll do this 3 times. Keep in mind you can always do more if you feel so inclined. And then next, we're going to start close to the belly button. Again, you can go fingers over fingers like we did in the beginning, and just make little tiny circles, again, moving in that clockwise fashion. And then let the circle get bigger. Allow it to grow. Allow it to encompass and love your whole belly until we're sweeping all the way out to the outermost part of your abdomen, up over part of your rib cage, and then back down. And then continuing that same direction, go ahead and bring that circle back in. Start to hone in on that belly button again. Start focusing your love on that mid part of your belly. And this is really where a lot of the small intestines live. So people with SIBO, this one goes out to you. Really give that mid belly button area of your small intestines some love. And then finally, the very last thing, and I think possibly the most important, is to just come and lay with your hands on your belly and set your intention. If you're doing this first thing in the morning while you're still in bed, it's great to set that intention for the day in almost a meditative way. If you're doing this last thing at night, you can reflect on your day and think about the day ahead. Think about the yummy food you're going to enjoy and how your food is going to nourish your body and how your body is going to welcome it and receive it and not be inflamed or bloated or ticked off. But think about the positives. Think about the food and how your body and the food are going to get along and how your microbes are going to love that food. Think about, if you have an outing coming up with friends and you get to eat with friends or you get to go out, think about how exciting that will be. Think about how your gut works for you on a day-to-day basis and does so much for you, and just tell it, hey, I'm grateful. But take as long as you need with this step in particular. Keep in mind, I said that everything is 3s, but if something really resonates with you, if, for example, you have SIBO and doing those little small intestine focused little flowery motions, if that really resonated with you, go ahead and continue it. There's no reason why you can't do more than 3, but take as much time as you need with this technique, and then don't forget this last step to really set your intention and think about how much you truly love your gut and how much potential it has and how much it loves you back. And when you're ready, you can end your meditation or end your massage session and start or end your day. Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, click the like button, and leave a comment down below with the videos that you would like to see me do next. Doing all of those really helps support the channel and support my efforts in making as many videos as possible for you guys. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.